Alright, some triangle preview packet. Going over some basics about triangles you probably have learned before, but maybe have forgotten. So the first thing I need to know is, do you know how to find the area of a triangle? So the formula for area is 1/2. You multiply the base and the height. Just like that. And so we're going to use this formula to find the area of each one. So the height obviously goes from the bottom straight up. So this would be the height. This here would be the base. And then the formula is 1/2 the base times the height, and then type it in. So have a calculator, type it in. I'm going to go, so I don't want you to do it without a calculator. 2 times 3.8, and then divide it by 2. I think that's the easiest. So 2 times 3.8 divided by 2, 3.8. How do you write area? Is you take the unit and you square it. So that's the proper way to write the unit when you're finding area. Alright, so the key for height is to find where the 90 degree is, that little square, and that gives you the height. So area is going to be 1/2, the base is 9.9, and the height is 4.3. So I'm going to multiply it together and then divide by 2. So I get 9.9 times 4.3, and then divide by 2. I get 21.285. And again, that's m, that's meters, and that's squared. Alright, let's see if we can do it. You want to try it first, press pause. 1/2 the base, which is 6, times the height, which is 7.1, and then use your calculator. So again, I'm going to go 6 times 7.1, and then divide by 2, and I get 21.3, and the unit would be miles squared. Number 4, can you find the area of this triangle? So again, this gives me the height. So it's 1/2 the base times the height. So in my calculator, I'm going to go 7 times 2.5, and then divide it by 2. That's 8.75. And that's what? Feet squared. Number 5. One half the base times the height. So again, I'm going to use and multiply first and then divide by 2. So 7 times 4.3 divided by 2. I get 15.05, and that's feet squared for area. Number 6, can you find the area? 1/2 the base times the height. And again, I'm going to multiply first and then divide by 2. And that's inches squared. Number 7. Again, this represents what the height would be. So area is 1/2 the base, which is 5, times the height, which is 1.9. So again, I'm going to multiply 5 times 1.9 and then divide by 2. And again, it's going to be meters squared. Number 8. 1/2 the base times the height, and then use my calculator. So I'm going to go 7 times 5.4 divided by 2. I get 18.9. And that's miles squared. So that's how you find area of a triangle. I'm sure you've done that before. 1/2 the base times the height, just a review. Alright, turn the page. Next, can you find the measure of each missing angle in this triangle? So the angle is how wide these corners are. So the wider it is, the bigger the angle, the more narrow it looks, the smaller the angle. So one of the properties of a triangle is when you add up all the angles, it adds up to 180. I don't know why I'm trying to get it focused in here. Let's see if I can get it to work. Alright, So the whole idea here is that when you add all the angles in the triangle, it adds up to 180. So for these questions, you'll know two angles. So I know 70 degrees, and that means 90. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go 70 plus 90, and I'm going to get an answer. You can use your calculator. Then when you get an answer, I'm going to subtract that answer from 160 to get the answer I'm looking for. So this missing angle is 20 degrees because they add up to 180. All right, let's look at number 10. So first I'm going to add the two angles I see. So I'm going to add 95 and 45. And then once I have my answer, I'm going to subtract 180. So the number that's left is the angle I'm looking for. So this missing angle is 40 degrees. Number 11. I want to find this missing angle. So I'm going to add the two angles that I see. And then I'm going to take that answer and subtract 180. And the angle that's left over is the one I'm looking for. Let's see, this would be 17.6. So the angle that's missing here is 65 degrees. Number 12. I want to find that missing angle, so I'm going to add the two angles that I see together. Then I'm going to subtract that from 180. And so the angle that's missing up there is 60. All right, do you want to try number 13? Can you find a missing angle in a triangle by understanding that if you add all the angles, it adds up to 180? So I'm going to go 132 plus 22. And then whatever answer I get, I'm going to subtract 180 and get my answer. Number 14. I'm going to add the angles I see, 60 plus 60. Then I'm going to subtract 180 and the missing angle I find. This is actually called an equal angular triangle because all three angles are the same size. 15. I want to find this missing angle. What do? Add the two you see. That's 133 plus 22. Then subtract 180 from that answer, and what's left over is the answer you need. What is that? 25. One more. Do you want to try it first? Press pause, and then I'll do it. All right, add these two angles up, 76 and 32. Then subtract 180 from that, and what's left over is what you're looking for. 2, that's 7. 72. All right, turn the page. Now, this is asking a similar question. We still need this understanding that all the angles add up to 180. But this time it's algebra that you're given. So we're going to take all three of what we're given and add them. So we have x plus 63. We have x plus 81 and 50. So we're going to add them all up, and we know it adds up and equals 180. Then we're going to combine like terms and solve it. So x plus x is 2x, and then I'm going to add these numbers together. So I'm going to do that on the side. So 81 and 63 and 50. I need all of them. So I'm going to add 81, 63, and 50. There's 14. That's 194. I'm going to subtract 194. That answer is going to be negative, and it's 14. And then divide by 2, and x is equal to negative 7. Now the question asks for what the size of angle A is, not what x equals. But now that I know what x equals, here's A right here. I'm only going to use x plus 63, and I'm going to put negative 7 and replace the x with negative 7 and solve it. So angle A is going to be negative 7 plus 63. Oh, there we go, 56. and you have your answer. So this is kind of the next level up. Create some space here. All right, number 18. First we need to create, and we're going to add these all up. So I know that x plus x is 2x, and on the side I have to add 70 and 56 and 66. Good practice for you. So I'm going to add them up. It's 12, it's 13, that's 192 I got. So this is plus 192, and that's equal to 180. Then we're going to subtract 192. If you have to, you can use a calculator. That's negative 12. Then we're going to divide by 2. So a negative divided by a positive is negative, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. Now the answer doesn't ask for what x equals, it asks for a. So a is here now. So to find angle, that's a fancy symbol for an angle. So the measure of angle A, x, which is negative 6 plus 66, and that answer is 60 degrees. All right, try number 19. So again, if I add all of these, it equals 180. So I know on the side, 53, 55, 82. I'm going to add that up. That's 8, that's 10, 19. I get 190. And then there are two x's. So it's 2x plus 190. And if you add them all up, it equals 180. Then I'm going to solve for x. So instead of positive 180, we're going to subtract. That's a negative answer. So 180, take away 190 is negative 10. Divide by 2, and you get negative 5. Again, we're not looking for negative 5 for an answer. We need to see angle A. So x is negative 5, so it's negative 5 plus 82, and that answer is 77. Done. Number 20, I think it's time for you to try first, and then see if you did it right. That's the right way to do it, to try it first. All right, so we're going to add up 75, 55, and 70. That's 200 I got. And then we have two x's and 200, and that adds up to 180. Then I'm going to solve for x. So I'm going to subtract 200. I'm going to divide by 2, and that gives me negative 10. And again, we're not looking for what x equals. We got to see where a is. And so what is the measure of angle A? Instead of x, it's negative 10 plus 55. So that answer is 45. 21. Can you add these up equal to 180 and solve it? You try it first. So I'm going to add up 47, 91, and 66. I'm going to add it up. I get 204. And again, I have two x's. So 2x plus 204, that's going to equal 180 because all the angles add up to 180. Subtract 204. And then when I subtract, I get a negative answer. Is that 24? Divide by 2, and x is equal to negative 12. Find angle A. So the measure of angle A is going to be negative 12 plus 66. So in other words, what's 66 take away 12? And you get your answer. Again, if you need a calculator to support you here, it's okay. 22. So I want to add this all up. So I got to make sure I add up like what I'm supposed to add up. So this angle here is 20. And then I'm going to add these up together too. So 20 plus 5, I need that number, in like terms. So I'm going to add these all up. So 28 plus 3 is 31x, and then 5 plus 20 is 25, and that's going to equal 180. So I add up like terms. So 28x, 3x is 31x, 20 plus 5, 25 equal 180. Subtract 25. and then divide. What is one that? Did I subtract correctly? I don't think I subtracted correctly. It's 55. And that's 5. So when you divide by 31, you can use a calculator. But the answer is 5. I wasn't finding the answer before. So it's 5. Find angle A. And then plug in 5 for x. So the measure of angle A is 3 times 5 plus 5. So it's 15 plus 5, and that's 20. Number 23. All right, we're going to add this up. So this is 90. So 6x plus 7x, that's 7. Sorry, 6 plus 1 is 7x. 4 plus 9 is 13. And I have to add 90, so that's 103. That's equal to 180. Subtract 103. And then divide by 7. And it goes in 11 times. Angle A is right here. So the measure of angle A is 11 plus 9. So that answer is 20. Done. All right, 24. Add these up. So I have 4 and 8. That's 12x. I have 60 plus 6 plus 6. That's 60 plus 12. Oops, that's 72. So if you add it all up, it adds up to 180. Subtract 72 to both sides. What's that? 8. Zero. Is it 108? I feel like I did something wrong. 60 and 12 is 72. 4 and 8 is 12. 180 take away 72. Did that right. Divide by 12. I feel like I don't know my 12 times tables. Jeez Louise, it's 9. Okay. End of the day. It's 9. 12 times 9 is 108. I should know better. Angle A. So x is 9, so take out the x and plug in 9 and then solve it. So we multiply first, then add, and I get my answer. All right, we got there. All right, there's day 1 in terms of some basic triangles. Can you find the area of a triangle? Do you know that all 3 angles of a triangle add up to 180? Mr. G Math, over and out. Glad you did your work. I hope you learned something. Until next time.